This comment right here, and this one. They pointed out something painfully obvious that I just didn't consider. I was so convinced that the Draconic Visage and Spectral Spirit Shield were going to become Necromancy Shields that I didn't for a second consider the possibility that we might need these items to simply upgrade our offhands. That they're shields is just a coincidence. As far as we know, we might need a Spectral Spirit Shield to make a tier 80 Necromancy offhand. Who can say? But since that might be the case, that means we gotta go farm Corp. The spirit world exists opposite to the physical world, but only where it's relevant to the plot. After sealing the spirit beast away in a cave within the spirit world, we opened a cave in the real world, allowing the corporeal beast to manifest. And because he's a spirit made real, he takes reduced damage from all weapons except spears. I suppose that's a rule, or maybe it's just a quirky gameplay thing. I don't know. The beast drops 4 sigils, each at a 1 in 2560 rate, except the spectral, which is twice as common. These sigils can be used to craft its respective spirit shield by using it on a raw spirit shield dipped in holy elixir. These shields kind of fell out of favor since going sword and board is a severe DPS loss. The special effects of the shields just don't make up for the fact that they aren't weapons. The divine, the arcane, and the Elysian spirit shields reduce incoming damage by 30%, with half of the damage reduced being deducted from your prayer points instead. The only difference is their combat style class. The spectral has no special effect, it's just a magic class shield with a life point boost. They do have a niche use in fights with high typeless damage as a switch. I believe the 100% plus enrage final phase of the Zamorak fight makes use of them. Maybe there are some other circumstances where you'd camp the shield, perhaps if you were tanking a raid or something, but it's still just a shield. The spectral shield only provides a life point boost, so whatever benefit the other shields give, it don't got it. The only reason it's worth as much as it is right now, and why it's increasing in price, is because it's on the list of existing items used in necromancy. As much as I'm loath to camp Corp with my current melee gear, I really have no choice. I guess I could use magic, but my damage would be reduced by 50%. As much as I think my magic setup is better than my melee setup, I don't think it's twice better. I'd also love to use Iron Raxor's AFK Corp Guide, but I'm not anywhere near that equipped. My masterwork ain't trimmed, my spear ain't masterwork, and I don't got a single piece of Vestments of Havoc. So I gotta make do with playing the game like some sort of peasant. It's quite the struggle. It's bullshit is what it is. Here's my setup. Masterwork armor, Cinderbane gloves, an amulet of souls, chaotic spear, vampirism scrimshaw, and the vampirism aura. I also brought an old Dak coil with me. By placing it between these two graves and standing close-ish to the coil, you'll not only be damaging the beast, but you'll throw a little bit of damage onto the core when it jumps at you. And to eke out just a bit more damage, weapon poison +++, elder overloads rather than holy overloads, and abyssal armor spikes since it's free damage. With better gear, I'm sure you could just pretend the core doesn't exist, but I found myself taking a good bit of damage from it. So I'd occasionally stall my AoE abilities for when I got close, and then I'd hurricane or quake. That, along with the coil, usually dealt with it. There's Animate Dead. If I swapped out my boots and helm for Sea Singers, I'd be able to get some passive damage reduction, but my accuracy was already below 100%, so I didn't want to make it any worse. Having both a Vampirism Scrimshaw and Aura kept me pretty healthy. The bigger problem was when the Beast and Core comboed me, chunking my health down to like a quarter. I did think about making another Essence of Finality amulet and throwing a Dragon Hatchet into it. I have enough Reaper points, but after killing Corp for a bit, I found my accuracy wasn't that bad. I was missing a bit, but a lot of the damage was coming from the cannon, the weapon poison, and the armor spikes. They're all small hits, but they add up. It also helps that Overpower being an ultimate ability has an increased hit chance. And since I have the Zook cape, it doesn't cost that much adrenaline and I can use it every 30 seconds. I was reliably getting sub 45-second kills. Not remarkably fast, but fast enough for my liking. It takes about 30 seconds to respawn, more than enough time to drop combat for my persistent rage relic to start regenerating my adrenaline. Starting a kill with 100% adrenaline really makes a difference. I was pretty much able to start the kill and end the kill with Overpower. I did try using Berserk a few times and I did get my fastest kill while under the effects of Berserk, but it can be a little fiddly, and since I was already dealing with getting comboed sometimes, Berserk increasing the damage I was taking wasn't worth the effort. And a lot of times it didn't really speed up the kill that much more. I'm sure if I brought adrenaline potions, I could have gotten some really fast kills, but using adrenaline potions on the corporeal beast feels like a waste, you know? Right after recording that line, I realized I didn't use Von Bombs at all. Like, now that I'm thinking back, I didn't even register that Von Bombs were an option. Why didn't I bring Von Bombs? And no, I didn't forget a familiar. The corporeal beast will eat your familiar if you bring one, so don't bring one. He's gonna eat it. So back to the respawning thing. Leaving the instance and rejoining would make the boss respawn just a touch faster, but your coil doesn't stay in the instance if you leave. In fact, if you leave your coil in the instance when you leave, you have to go back to Nilodion near the Dwarven Mine to get it back. If you want to force spawn the boss by leaving and re-entering the instance, you'll either need to ditch the coil or pick it up and place it back down every single time. And that's way too much effort for this smooth brain. I'll just sit and wait. Oh my god. I was so worried I was going to be here forever. Oh, that is beautiful. I was getting comments on the YouTube video saying that the spectral sigil might be needed to upgrade the conduit, but we got the spectral sigil, but oh, wait a minute. I still need a holy elixir, don't I? And a spirit shield. Well, back to Corp. It's raining right now, by the way. In the middle of my Corp grind, Jagex decided to release a new quest and rip away my comp cape. Already. Is this my life now? Logging in with my cape override removed, standing there with whatever cape I happen to be wearing, clashing with my dapper appearance? Well, let's get that cape back. So this quest, Dead and Buried. I know this is gonna sound really surprising, but something happened, an event occurred, and Reddit is pissed. It's never happened before, but I feel like I should be the first one to tell you. So I get the distaste for the Raptor's new model, especially since they have him using the angry walk. It makes him look like a toddler on the brink of throwing a tantrum. You remember when you were a kid and you felt angry and embarrassed and you were trying your hardest not to cry in front of everyone? Just me? Yeah. Well, that's what the angry walk looks like. Thankfully, he's being updated to have his old stance back. Looks a lot better. I do still think he's a bit too slender. Doesn't have that imposing stature he's supposed to have. He doesn't really look threatening or anything, he just looks like a guy. I think it would work better if he were maybe a head taller. The quest itself was neat, and don't worry, I won't give any major spoilers. I really liked the sliding puzzle. It was super responsive, way more responsive than the clue scroll sliding puzzles, and the three-dimensional aspect of it made solving it pretty fun. I made it harder on myself because I was solving it upside down. I knew it was a map, but I assumed it was a map of some place we'd never seen, not just, you know, the Fremennik Sea. This is not in Yatizo. Oh wait, is it rotated? Yeah, I was looking at it upside down. It's wild how alien a map looks just by flipping it over. So I won't spoil the twist. I'll just say that I'm fine with it. A lot of people are upset with it. There are legitimate criticisms with the pacing of the twist and how it wasn't really foreshadowed prior to this quest very much. Mostly critiques of the craft of storytelling, which are reasonable. My biggest issue is the model itself. It just doesn't look all that good. I mean, in a vacuum it looks good, but considering what it was, it's not good in comparison. The reason for the change, they've said, is because the old model couldn't be controlled by the player without weird animation glitches happening. I'm willing to believe that, because if that weren't the case, they could have just kept the Raptor as is without changing one bit of the story. What bugs me is that it's a solution to a self-made problem. So it's impossible for us to control the Raptor without making his model look worse. Then don't make a quest with controlling the Raptor as part of it. What sucks is actual critiques are being drowned out by people who are mad at the twist for gamer reasons. I hate pulling that card, but let's be real. The Raptor's a dick. The person involved in the reveal is also a dick. But somehow, it's fine that the Raptor's an asshole because he's stoic and curt and manly. But this other person being an asshole? No, that's bad because, well, lots of whining about Jagex pushing an agenda or whatever. I like the quest, and I loved the mention of Vorkath. For those unaware, Vorkath is a boss in Old School, an undead dragon you fight during Dragon Slayer 2. It's not even the final boss of that quest either, just one of the many bosses you have to fight during it. We might be getting an undead dragon boss. Could be fun. Final note about the quest. We don't know which dragonkin it was that sealed the door, the one whose dream journal Zemarigal was digging into. But I predict it's Zorgoth. Modjack made a point to redact whose dream Zemarigal entered, so it'll likely be important. Zorgoth is the primary antagonist of Old School's Dragon Slayer 2, and he is a dragonkin who has showed up, although had no speaking lines, in RuneScape 3. They're already referencing Vorkath, so why not bring Zorgoth along as well? This prediction doesn't really mean much of anything. Maybe I'll be right. That'll be neat. Alright, with the quest done, we can finish building up the Ranger's Workroom. The new fort building added with this quest, which actually brings up a criticism about how they've handled the fort questline this season of content. On the one hand, I like that the buildings have a reason for existing. The world is changing in response to our actions. I like that. My concern is how it comes across if you're approaching the content long after it's released. If you do all the fort quests in sequence, the pacing is a bit clunky. You show up, do a couple minutes of questing, spend a bunch of time AFK building the tier 1 version of the building, then you do a little bit more questing. My preference would be all these fort quests being combined into 1 or 2 bigger quests with the fort building parts of the quest shortened. That way, the tier 1 buildings feel like part of the quest reward, with construction rewarding the later tiers of the buildings. Right now, building during the quest sorta derails the storyline. A better execution, I think, would be to bring Bill the ingredients and he has his army of builders construct the basic buildings for you. Fade to black, let's hang out with Bill for a bit, that kind of thing. Why can't the builders upgrade the buildings for us? Well, they're busy maintaining the walls and fortifications. They can't waste their time on anything but the bare necessities. Yeah, that should work. I guess I feel that skilling shouldn't be part of a quest. Questing should be an active activity. Anyway, the Ranger's Workroom. The undead are strong within melee distance, so our fort guards need some range equipment. And here's our answer. So they get some new weapons, that's great for them. For us, the fully upgraded Ranger's Workroom grants a slight increase to fletching production, saving resources, making extra products, producing strung bows when cutting logs, those sorts of things. To get my comp cape back though, it's not enough to build the tier 3 Workroom. I also need to unlock one of the 4 Wisdom of Anima perks. After imbuing 500 sets of Elder God arrows, you unlock a perk that makes imbuing more of those arrows faster and at a cheaper cost, but the XP you get is drastically reduced to basically nothing. It is possible to unlock the perk before making 500 sets of arrows, but that's all RNG. You're guaranteed to unlock it at 500 though. That means 7,500 arrows and 22,500 of one of the Elder God's anima. I have plenty of Wen anima from my Arch Glacier grind, and I have a bunch of Dine arrows left over from getting 99 firemaking and 99 fletching ages ago. Is this update supposed to fix the issues with Elder God arrows? I don't think so. I think the major issue is consumption rate and the actual creation of the Dine arrows themselves. But does this help a little bit? Yeah, kinda. I'm actually expecting Vorkath to play a role in this. You see, in old school, Vorkath can drop his head. You can use his head to upgrade your Ava's Accumulator into an Ava's Assembler, a better version of the backpack with better stats. My prediction, if Vorkath does end up being a boss, is that he'll drop some item to improve our backpack even further, allowing it to save Elder God arrows, unless it already does. Then it'll make it more effective. If Vorkath is just a quest boss, maybe that'll be a reward from the quest. If I'm right, I'm a genius. If I'm wrong, just forget I said anything. Thankfully, to get our comp cape back, we only need to unlock the perk for one of the animas, not all 4. Unlocking all 4 is a trim requirement, however, so I'll get around to that eventually. My cape's using the Zook preset, by the way. It matches the aesthetic I'm already rolling with. Anyway, back to Corp. Finally, we got it. The Holy Elixir. Let's see how many we killed. Corp. Almost 300. I'm gonna kill 2 more. Pretty lucky with the drops, to be honest. 5 Spirit Shields, 1 Spectral Sigil, 1 Holy Elixir. Oh, happy day. We're finally totally prepped for Necromancy, I hope. Next time, something a little different. A new type of challenge and an experiment. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.